There's frustration on Aaron's side right now, but there's, quote, no way that Green Bay would lose Rodgers. And this morning, Packers CEO Mark Murphy said, quote, we're not idiots. Aaron Rodgers will be back. So, Shannon, how does this play out?
Well, it sounds like you're an idiot. You drafted a quarterback in the first round, so why would you do that? If you were so certain Aaron Rodgers was what you said he is, and how adamant you are, and how decisive you are in your praise, right currently, why would you ever take a quarterback in the first round and trade up to do so if you feel this way? Because Mark Murphy knows Aaron Rodgers now has the leverage back again, Skip, and he's going to hold their feet to the fire. What are you... And the Players Club, St. Louis comes into the building, Skip, he says, do something to make me feel better. Packers, you're going to have to do something to make this man feel better. What you going to do? You need to get me somebody that I feel... I'm not necessarily saying, Skip, it's a wide receiver. I'm not necessarily saying it's this or that. But you better get somebody that's going to be able to come in and contribute. Because you took a guy that had no bearing on our season. And I'm not getting any younger. So you're trying to add stuff for the future. My future is right now. And so he's like, okay, what y'all gonna do? Now, this surprised me. He got this year, next year, this upcoming season, 2021 and 2022, on his resume, on the books for them. So I'm surprised that this is a play about money. Could be. I mean, hell, make it, 36, 37 million next year. And I think, 40 after that, like 40.9 after that?
No, 39.9, but 40.
Okay, 40 million. So, he want to add, 2, 3 more years? So, Skip, look, he's upset. He's frustrated, Skip. I mean, it was set up for you, Skip. I mean, you had the perfect birthday. I mean, it was sunny. The weather forecast was projected to be 85 and sunny. And then all of a sudden, a pop-up thunderstorm came, and it washed you out. And that pop-up storm was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it washed your perfectly good season. That everything that you had worked for, Skip, it washed it all away. He's frustrated right now. But he's mainly upset that what they did in the offseason when they selected a quarterback, and we knew what it was going to be, Skip. We knew he was going to be seething. Because quarterbacks, they don't take kindly to when you taking their replacement. Especially because that guy can't help us do nothing. He didn't even hold for the snap. He didn't do anything.
Nope.
So Rodgers said, you could have got me somebody. So he's going to hold. He has the hammer right now, Skip. And he's looking to bash somebody in the head with it.
So, I know how much you love your man, Aaron Rodgers, and you know how much I don't love it. So I'm just going to lay it right in the middle of this table right here, right now. To me, the Green Bay Packers are now officially held hostage by Aaron Rodgers. Because all he did to counteract Jordan Love was go out and be the runaway MVP. And yet all he did in yet another championship game was let them down. That's 1-4 in championship games, and I dare you to go look at that one that he won in Chicago with Jay Cutler on the bicycle with a strained knee, some kind of a wounded knee.
It just goes to show you, Skip, he played better in this game than he did that game, and he won that game.
They won it, and then they went on and won that long ago, far away Super Bowl, and that's all you got. And since then, he's been 7-8 in the playoffs, and if you look at the 7 wins, they're flawed because it was Joe Webb at quarterback and Kirk Cousins and the Dez Cauditt game and the Odell boat trip to Miami game, then playing at Lambeau, and then the 2 cross-country field goals by Mason Crossbar at Jerry World. It's just one thing after another where he got a lot of breaks along the way even to get to 7-8. But now he's doing, look, the 2 greatest strengths to me of Aaron Rodgers, and I don't discount either one of them because they are great strengths. He can front run, and I mean that in the most positive way. If he gets you down, that's why Tom Brady knew, I got to take the ball. They deferred to us. They said, you take it, Tom. Watch what we do to you. And he converted. Brady did 3 straight 3rd and 10s to go right down and score a touchdown to go 7-0. That's the only way you're going to win against Aaron Rodgers on the frozen tundra. You got to show him right out of the box, we're here to stay. We're here to fight. And you have to put him on his heels and hope that maybe he folds in the 4th quarter. And he did. He did. You were the first to acknowledge he did not play great in the 4th quarter. They had their opportunities, in part thanks to Tom Brady, but they could, even with 2 backup safeties in for Tampa Bay, he could not pull it off. But what does he do now? He can front run and he can blame deflect at the highest order. And he is now blame deflect. He is managing to turn the narrative from "it was your fault, Aaron," to "no, it was Matt LaFleur's fault and it's Mike Pettine's fault. And ultimately, it's Mark Murphy's fault because you didn't get him enough help and you dared to go trade up in the first round to take a quarterback who clearly was earmarked as his replacement sooner or later, depending on, remember, it took Aaron 3 years to replace Brett Favre, and I'm sure that was sort of the timetable. Well, if it takes 2 years or 3, we'll be just fine, but we need to get him right here, right now.
Right.
Okay?
I Skip, and the thing was, you said you believed that Aaron had held them hostage for the last 7, 8 years. They finally took some of it back by taking the quarterback, said, "Oh, okay, Aaron, we'll move on without your butt."
Yep.
And then they messed around and let the man have 48 and 5, and he's going to be MVP, and he snatched it right back.
Okay.
So what do they do now, Skip? They damned if they do, damned if they don't.
All right, but during the regular season, you're going to get a lot of discount double check from Aaron. You're going to get McCringleberry at Tampa Bay when they went up 10-0.
I wanted to see it. I wanted to see it.
You wanted to see it. But when you get to the highest level of the conference, you got 1-4. So that's why you're held hostage. I don't think he'll ever break through again and win a Super Bowl. I could be wrong, but I don't see it. As what is he now, 37?
Yeah.
I think you've seen the best of Aaron Rodgers. Well, that's why they're held hostage. What do they do now? Because it's hard to argue with runaway MVP.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, well, I'm going to move on from a guy that just thrown 48 touchdowns with 5 interceptions. How do you move on from that? So basically, if he wants more money because now he's tied with Jared Goff for the 5th highest paid, and you got some more QBs coming up. You heard the Baltimore Ravens say, Skip, you see how the Baltimore Ravens, the general manager says, "I want Lamar here long term.
Sure.
We're going to he deserves to get that." You see how they ain't mentioned nothing about no discount. They ain't mentioned nothing about no hometown discount. They ain't got to mention anything about, we got to think about the other team. They said, Lamar Jackson, you see the difference between the way the Ravens do business and the way your team do business?
Okay, but every other commercial now, I see Dak Prescott on a national TV commercial, right?
Yeah.
He's starting to rival Baker.
Well, he got to, because y'all ain't paying him. You ain't paying him.
Well,
You
he had him already.
You got to make some money.
You got to give a discount because you are America's team's quarterback.
I need one of them more discounts. Hey, Dak, see you one of them discounts, one of them more beds.
And speaking of discount, does Aaron Rodgers, how much has he made from State Farm over the years?
Well, he finna make more from Green Bay.
I don't know.
So what? What did he want? What, tack on another 3 years, Skip? So make it a 5-year deal for what? 120? 125? He wants 45 a year?
All I know is if I were a Green Bay Packer fan, when it comes playoff time, the last thing I'm going to do is RELAX. Not with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback.
He said that many years ago.
Okay, but that was during the regular season after they'd lost a couple of games.
Yeah.
And I give you that, regular season wonder. He's starting to get like Peyton used to be, where he'll put up those numbers during the regular season. Can't trust him in the biggest games in the postseason.
Well, he need to go on somewhere and say, go on and get me to San Francisco.
Right. Well, maybe they will.
Super Bowl favorite right there.
Yep. Well, we'll see.
Can you think about what Kyle Shanahan did for Matt Ryan? Matt Ryan ain't played that well before or since. Look at what he's done with those guys. Skip, he got guys that shouldn't even.
I got it. But go back and look at 5 NFC Championship games played by Aaron Rodgers and tell me what you see and don't see from him, because you don't see a lot.
Skip, like I said, I think he plays well. But the really great one, Skip, you got to play well in the moments. It's the moments, Skip. I'm not saying you got every third down you got to pick up. You got to go 10 for 11 on third down. You got to make every throw. But it's moments that we remember the most.
So last quick point was there's an anonymous quote in Mike Sando's piece in The Athletic today about Aaron, and the quote is from a veteran coach. It says, "Why is it so hard for Rodgers to act like a professional?" Well, he's a diva, a blame-deflecting diva. That's what he always has been.
Yeah, I mean,
there we go. Thank you.
Well, guess what? Y'all blame deflected because y'all blame me and you took a quarterback. So if you take a quarterback, so what are you saying, Skip Bayless? If you take a quarterback in the draft, whatever you draft in the first round, you're saying that position is a position that we need.
They were preparing to cut bait.
Well, I'm preparing to cut bait.
All right.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm prepared to jump overboard. You ain't got to cut bait. I'm going to jump in. That's what I do for you.
They should cut bait at some
I bet you they will. Okay, do it. I dare you. I dare you, Mark Murphy, to cut bait. I double dare.
Good.
Yeah, they said they're not
Double
idiots.
discount there.
You know, Skip, when you were a kid, I double dare you with ice cream on top.
With everything. Well, the reality is Aaron Rodgers is home now watching as Tom Brady is preparing for his 10th Super Bowl. But really, he's under the spotlight in so many ways. Don't go anywhere. There's more Undisputed after this.
So you're trying to add stuff for the future. My future is right now. And so he's like, okay, what y'all gonna do? Now, this surprised me. He got this year, next year. This upcoming season, 2021 and 2022, on his resume, on the books for them. So I'm surprised.